Welcome back, everyone, to the Bear Watch Project, a podcast where two gay bears discuss everything and anything film and TV. Hi, my name is Garrett. I love movies.
And I'm Oscar, and I love TV. And today we're talking about episode 5 of Agatha All Along. So, how's it going, Garrett?
It's fine. This week we have had the depression bug, because life. But we're getting through it. We've seen some good movies, some good TV. I'm excited for the TV to get us back in the laughs, the good vibes, and it's just been a week. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Been watching a lot of stuff and
Mm-hmm.
definitely still reeling from this last episode.
Mm-hmm.
TV has been very interesting lately.
Mm-hmm. How did getting into what we watched this week? How did your Be NATO event end?
It's funny that the big draw to this was the whole bees and there's a tornado, and I mean it was in the ads and it was in the commercials and everything, and the bee NATO lasted like one scene. I guess the
Mm-hmm.
bees were too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
um there was the other scene where they collided with the plane, but it was mostly about this plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
um it concluded. She landed the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is safe. Well, mostly everyone. And it was just in good 911 fashion, putting your characters in dire situations, and it was a fun watch.
That's good. Where would you rank it? Okay, give me your ranking, worst to best opening sequences of the seasons.
This is not like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they could top the earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
The earthquake was a big one. Yeah, no. This is not. It felt kind of epic,
Mm-hmm.
but no. Maybe 3. Maybe number 3.
Number 3. I saw someone put it higher. Like, it was like mid for them, but they put, I think, like seasons 5 and 6. Again, I have no knowledge of the show whatsoever outside of TV
Mm-hmm.
advertisements. Um, Still, I don't know how long it took me until I realized Connie Britton wasn't on the show anymore. But
Well, Connie Britton was on it for the first season, and she's
mm-hmm.
done. I mean,
As she
that's
usually
kind of
does.
her. Yeah, it's kind
That's
of
her
her
gig.
MO.
Mm-hmm. What else have you been watching?
Um, the finale of Big Brother, of course,
Oh, that ended.
uh, came down to 2 very qualified people, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Could have gone either way. Actually, no. The winner kind of really deserved to win, and she won in a unanimous vote. So
Was it Brenda, the older lady?
Angela,
Angela. How far did she get?
oh my God, she got to like top 6 or 7, 7 maybe.
That's not so bad. For
Yeah,
being as a disruptor as I thought she was.
she was not my favorite house guest by far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she makes good TV. I
That's
mean,
good.
you can't deny that she made good TV. I mean, people were kind of polarized by
Mm-hmm.
watching her.
So you would say she's the Queen Kong of Big Brother.
She polarizing indeed.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Bully.
Yeah, that's mostly what
Edit
I've been
point.
watching.
Uh-huh.
I've been keeping it low. I've been just catching up with a lot of episodes. I started my rewatch, not rewatch. I continued to watch English Teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I had not I had not kept up with it.
Yeah.
I'm also watching Suits, which
Mm-hmm.
apparently was very popular like 10 years ago and people loved. And I've been watching that for the first time.
Was it popular? Because I feel like it got a resurgence during COVID, and that's when it became popular. Like after COVID, it was like the
Probably.
new show that everyone's watching. I'm excited for the reboot only because it's Stephen Amell.
I don't know. Stephen Amell is a character all
Give
on his
me
own.
him, give me him shirtless and doing whatever like bar thing again that he kept all the did that he did all the time in Arrow, where you have to like lift yourself up onto another bar by using the same bar. Give me that
Mhm.
again, please.
Yeah, Stephen Amell. Oh my god. He's a character. That's all I'll
What
say.
what's your beef? Nose.
I don't have
Spray
beef.
it.
Um, sometimes he just doesn't know when to not speak on certain things. I'll say that.
That's fair. The only thing I ever got mad at him for was how like personally he reacted to the Arrow joke in Peacemaker.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That then there was the strike that he made a comment on.
That's right.
Um, he recently made another comment on something, and I was just like, I'm like, maybe you're just not really good at interviews.
I feel it. How caught up are you on English Teacher?
I saw the last episode I saw was the camping trip. I think I'm halfway through the episode after that one.
Okay.
Oh, which is the oh, I just finished it. The one with the mom.
Yes. Okay.
I just finished that one.
Okay. So you have one more episode to go, and then this week, tomorrow is the season finale.
Oh my
Already, it's
god,
only it
already?
only yes, it only has 8 episodes, which makes sense why they're like getting through the story so much. I like
Mm-hmm.
episode 7. You haven't seen it yet, but I have.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. There's just for 8 episodes, I feel like they're rushing through some of these character beats. And I wish this had like a traditional 22 episode series because I like all these characters. I want to spend more time with the kids, even though it's not like AP Bio in that sense. Um, but yeah, I've been enjoying English Teacher. Did you watch the premiere of Abbott?
I did. I did watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, you know what? Seeing Janine and what's his name,
Gregory.
Gregory together as
Gregory.
yeah, I'm just like, okay. So
They
when they made the joke about oh we tried and it didn't work out again, I was like yes, and then there was like psych. I'm like oh okay, I guess.
I I thought it worked for them. I think I like because they don't know how to do a prank. They don't know how to be like serious and like in the
Mm-hmm.
moment. I felt like for a character wise, that was funny for them trying to like get people. Barbara loved Barbara so much this premiere. The Roaches
Mm-hmm.
loved that bit very much. I'm just happy to be back with these characters. I really want them to do more with Jacob this season. Um, I feel like Gregory and Janine should have had a bigger talk from HR, and I don't like that it was that person who's in HR. I wanted it to be someone that Janine is open to talking to, not someone
Mm-hmm.
who's so like so much of an antagonist against her. But I get it. You want connecting characters, and maybe that person was already in HR before. But I'm not. I don't know. They just need to stop being so flirty around the kids. That for me is like, whoa.
Yeah,
There should have been a boundary
yeah.
line.
What do you think of the announced crossover with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I wish it was a surprise. I'm upset that the Always Sunny person posted a photo and that's like what released everyone. Save that till the
Hmm.
episode comes out. I wanted to be so surprised. I haven't seen Always Sunny. Um, from what I understand, are they con people? Are they going to try to do a con on the school?
They're not concrete people. I haven't seen Sunny in years. I used to watch it religiously and then
Mm-hmm.
I stopped. Oh, they're just a bunch of idiots.
Gotcha.
That's all it is. And yeah.
I think it's interesting. It's taking me back. It's like an adult thing, like when CSI would have all their crossovers, or NCIS sometimes had a crossover. I like that, but it's like harkening back to like
Hmm.
the Disney Channel days with Sweet Life of. I don't know. The one that was Sweet Life, Hannah Montana, and Wizards of Waverly Place all on the boat. That's the one I remember the most.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't want it to be one episode. I would like to see Abbott Elementary characters also in Always Sunny, but maybe they won't do that.
Who knows? I don't know.
I, mm, I'll be shady. I don't want Jacob to get back with his ex.
Wait, you want what?
I do not want Jacob to get back with his ex. Ended. They became friendly at the end of the season. I don't want them back together because I will be bummed out.
Huh.
Yes, if you remember the first
I do
episode, what I said.
remember. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I hope not. I kind of like them with the other guy that he was kind of seeing, the EMT guy.
From Deadpool, you like
Yeah,
Dopinder?
I like Dopinder.
I don't know. I feel like that's a good character for like hookups, but I never felt like the relationship quality matching.
Hmm.
And that's what I have to say on that. I have seen some movies though. Continuing my 31 Days of Halloween. I I know we recorded after Joker 2. So I've seen Joker 2. I have a video on that out. In theaters, I went to go see Saturday Night on Saturday. It was amazing. Easily in my favorites of the year. Surprisingly, I loved it a lot, considering how many characters they have to bounce, how much little time there is to do everything. It was fantastic. Um, I'm getting into doing more like video movies, so like I'm gonna do a movie review of Quiet Place, so I watched that last night. Um, and yeah, just like killing it with the movies every night. I did Classics Week this past week, so like all your classic slashers. I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 for the first time. That is a very funny, gory movie. It's very funny. The comedy in it is unintentional, I think, but very hilarious.
Nice,
Mm-hmm. Spooky vibes.
spooky. I've been trying to watch spooky stuff, but I'm just too much of a scaredy cat. I saw a trailer and I don't even remember what trailer it was yesterday. And just from the trailer, I was terrified. I'm like, nope. I
Was
did try to do like like a spooky thing and
mm-hmm.
watch something spooky. So I watched Happy Death Day. So I had never seen it.
I love Happy Death
Um,
Day.
it's good. It's interesting. I didn't finish watching it, but
Mm-hmm.
I will soon.
Mm-hmm. The sequel is great. The first one is like time travel repeating the same day over and over again. And
Hmm.
then the second one is the same thing, but now you're getting into like a multiverse. Not
Mm.
specifically, but like in a different universe, which is fun. Same veins of like that. The people who made those movies made Freaky, and that is a great slasher, like body switching slasher. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Their next one, which I'm really excited about, is coming out. I think February of next year. It's like a romantic comedy take on it, where you
Hmm.
have Olivia Wilde. No, that's not correct. I'm forgetting her name, but it's the girl from Kickin' It, Olivia something.
Hmm.
And then Mason Gooding from the two recent Scream movies, and they are being attacked by a serial killer who goes after couples but mistakes them for a couple, so they have to work together to escape this serial killer. And I think that as like a romantic comedy premise is so interesting and like horror wise it's great. I love that they take these genre movies and then they add horror to them and it's good. I haven't seen It's a Wonderful Knife, but I think I'm gonna try to make it something I watch for this holiday Christmas season. That was one that came out last year. I like their
Hmm.
work a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of good spooky stuff to watch.
Hmm. I'm looking forward to, I wonder if the trailer you saw was Smile 2. Was that like a rock star girl?
No, it wasn't that. It was
Can I
an older
guess?
movie. I know why. I don't even know the answer myself.
I want to guess if you can remember stuff from it.
I know it was on Max, and I was going through. I think I was going through my list of things that I have on Max,
Hmm. Please don't
and
be
here
Salem's Lot.
I'm trying to. No, it's not Salem's Lot.
Bless, because it's garbage.
It's not Salem's Lot. I saw the trailer for. I saw the TV Glow, and I was like,
That's one I want to watch so bad. Justice Smith is the main character in it.
I know, and I like Justice Smith, but I don't know. There was something about that I was like, eh.
I like Justice Smith except for his screeching.
Was it? It comes at night.
It comes at
Yes,
night.
it comes at night. It was
Oh,
the
the
trailer
A24
to.
movie?
Yes, I believe so.
I haven't seen that one. I do want to, though. I just want to also own it.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I was creeped out, which I was not expecting it because earlier in the trailer I was like, oh, okay, I see what this is kind of about, but I
Hmm.
definitely had a little bit of a scream and a jump
Uh,
and a quick switch to something else on the TV.
that's fair. That was me last night. A Quiet Place wearing headphones is terrifying because it's so. Excuse me. The mix is so low audio wise
Hmm.
because you have to be silent that anytime there's like a glass shattering or like something bump something, it is so loud in my headphones. So I kept like jump scaring just from sounds alone. I think it's a good time. Just watch some PG-13 horror. Watch A Quiet Place. I highly recommend. They're so good. I cried. I sobbed.
I love the Quiet Place movies.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them. I've seen them all. I like those.
Even the most recent one with Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
I thought it was fun. I like when movies branch out to give you a different perspective
Mm-hmm.
of whatever calamity is happening. So, like movies like Cloverfield or,
Yes. Cloverfield.
yeah, just anything that give me a
Love
big
it.
world breaking event and then give me
Mm-hmm.
a different perspective from different, different parts of the world or different characters. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. So I liked A Quiet Place day one.
Mm-hmm.
Lupita Nyong'o is she's good. She's a good actress
So
and
good.
it was a fun watch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
I
I like.
liked it. I think it should have been titled something different. Like, I
Okay.
wanted a big answer to like how we found these things out. Especially rewatching the first Quiet Place now. I'm like, how are there all these newspaper clippings? Like, if the world is dead essentially because you can't make loud noises, how are we able to print off papers, especially being in New York City? And these newspapers we're seeing in the first Quiet Place movie are from the New York Times. Make it make sense. You can't think about too hard about the logistics of A Quiet Place,
Yeah.
otherwise the movie kind of breaks down. But on their own, great movies, great horror, great characters, and thematic lessons these characters learn. Um, I do wish um, Was it Alex or Nat Wolf that was in this movie? I think it was Alex Wolf. We got in this movie. I wish he was in it longer. And then I wish they had the scene in where Joseph Quinn comes, like, essentially, like, lets us know he's actually gay. Because he is. But they deleted that scene.
Yeah, that I heard about that.
Mm-hmm. But I like him. I like him a lot. I love part two. People say part two is not so good. I sobbed during part two. It got to me. I
Part two
love these
is
characters
good.
so much.
Hmm.
Moving along, we're going to get into our main topic of the day. What did you think about the newest episode of Agatha All Along?
I mean, I did not expect to love this episode so much after the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I just really liked this episode. It was, I believe it's the shortest episode so far that we've gotten. Um, and I thought just with the time frame, they gave us so much. Like we got a lot of action. I'll say that. Not that they
Mm-hmm.
gave us so much, but we just
Mm-hmm.
a lot was happening. You know, it was fast paced,
Mm-hmm.
and that I liked.
Good.
And that big reveal, of course. Let's. I mean, we'll get into it later, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a fun episode to watch. I like the aesthetics. I like the reveals. Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Is this gonna be like last time where I
Yeah, it's gonna
hated
be
the
last
episode and
time.
you're like,
I did not like this episode. Um, I think it was way too short of an episode
mm-hmm.
for what they were doing. I think they could have added more to it. I think um I did not like the end of the trial. I did not like. I think the writing in this episode is kind of bad, and the performances of the characters and the actors is what saves it to make it good. But I think there are a lot of logical gaps that do not make sense um, with this episode. And it irked me the first time I watched it. I rewatched it today, and I was just like, they're just trying to get us somewhere. I like the aesthetic of the episode. I think the 80s is fun. I like everyone's costuming. I like how it looks. I was looking forward to this episode the most, I would say, with the trailer and how spooky the scenes that you see from this episode are in that trailer. I thought this was going to be like the big horror episode that I was going to super love. I think possession horror is just not my thing in general. Um, it's not spooky, scary to me, and I did not like it.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into why you're wrong.
Mm, I'll. I'm okay with it. I like. It's really just. I think the episode is 25 minutes when you take all of the before, and then you take the end credit stuff. It's 25 minutes long, and it's too fast. Like, okay, I'm gonna say something spoilery, so this is your spoiler warning. Because I'm gonna get into it now because I'm on the topic. I think Alice's death was unnecessary this episode. From a character perspective, from a writing perspective, she had what, 4 lines this episode before she died? Like, come on, you have to set it up. Like, I can't I don't know, because it was shocking when Sharon died because Sharon was such a focus of the episode, and there is a different Coven member, Jen, who is the bigger focus outside of Agatha in this episode. Like, Jen kind of becomes an antagonist this episode, out of nowhere, mind you. Otherwise, maybe she was just waiting for the moment to do this, but like, her flip, her character switch to just punish Agatha is so intense, and it came out of nowhere, and I don't understand
That
why.
that I agree with. That it just kind of took me by surprise because she's actually done that before, where
Mm-hmm.
it's just like she kind of just flip flops, and it's just very jarring to see.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we're like, wait, you were just kind of going with it, you were just being very nice, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's kill Agatha. Like it
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't make it didn't really make sense to me.
It came out of nowhere. Um, and then uh, I think a rewatch, like out of context from like recording this and watching it so much, I think if I do a full season rewatch at once, maybe it'll be better. Just because I won't feel the shortness of an episode if I just watch them back to back to back. Um, but I just didn't like this episode really at all, especially with how they set things up. I think they could have had a few more minutes. Lilia was in this episode, but they weren't continuing her character stuff in this episode to where with last one you understood the setup of a line and then there was what was missing to what she said before. That was completely missing this episode, and especially going with Alice, there was some important stuff that Lilia should have said and then a blank happened so that you knew from episode 4 that was for episode 5. Because unless Alice is revived by Rio, I don't think we're going to see Alice again.
Hmm. I
Hmm.
think you just really, really liked Alice.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed, but like from a writing perspective, if you give a character 4 lines after her arc, like if you're gonna kill her in episode 4 when her arc is finished, not let her sit around for 25 minutes and then kill her off.
I don't
Like,
know. I didn't really connect to her character. I
I so did. I so did because I understand that feeling of just not knowing what your purpose in life, and that there's some like for her sake, there's like some fantastical, magical reason of why her life has sucked. But like I just understood that perspective of her character. Um, and I don't think they built it enough for her to want to save Agatha. We'll get into it because she does give a look when Agatha is pleading to go with them. But yeah, I was just kind of really upset.
well, let's get into the episode.
Okay, let's do it. In episode 5, titled Darkest Hour, Wake Thy Power, we see the Salem Seven have entered the road, proving the animals we saw in episode 2 were in fact the Salem Seven. Lilia senses dreams, perhaps. I think it was dreaming because they were asleep. The seven are on the road, and to make a hasty escape, the coven must make brooms to fly away, much to the chagrin of Lilia. We also learn that the Salem Seven are the children of the witches Agatha killed back in Salem times, seen in episode 8 of WandaVision. Rio defends Agatha's actions as they were trying to kill her. The coven takes flight, enjoying their time in the air, and we see the blood moon. However, the road forces them back down. Escaping from one of the Salem Seven, the coven enters the next trial. I like the beginning of this episode. I think it's a good start to it. If we're gonna spend this much time at the beginning, I think it's a really good time that we let them breathe in the air while they're flying. I think that was fun. I like the visual effects for it. It's very hocus pocusy. That it's not super high budget, and obviously Marvel isn't putting a whole bunch of money into it. I like the beginning.
I think the beginning of the episode was very good in keeping you just there's a dire situation, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like it set the
Mm-hmm.
pacing for the episode very early on. It's very emergent. You got to get out of there. We need to figure something out. I like that we saw that the Salem Seven were the different animals. I like that we saw, the snake, the owl. The transformations were cool. I mean, they kept up with the creepiness of the Salem Seven just crawling around, and
Mm-hmm.
um, I like that. I really liked the what did they call it? The Hexenbessen, which was the exchange of the brooms.
Oh, they actually called it something. I was just hearing ritual.
Yeah. Um, Teen was like, how about a Hexenbessen?
Gotcha. And is that what they actually did, or?
I don't know. He said because
Hmm.
uh, so who protested? Lilia was the one who protested right away, right? And then they
They
just started doing it.
they all did, but it was Lilia who like explained why. Because I feel like Jen was really not into it either. Lilia was like, it's the holiday infrastructure taking something that we used to have and monetizing it, and then it's also like a subordinative item against women. That's not what she says, like the phrasing, because I didn't write that down because it was
Yeah, a
a good joke
Hexenbessen
though.
is a witch's broom.
Hmm. So he's just going with that scientific term and not like
It's in it's in Merriam-Webster, so
having
yeah,
work. Yeah,
definitely
but you know
knows what
how
it's talking about.
like you can use like a nomenclature for an animal and then someone goes like what and you go, "Oh, that's a fox." That's what I mean.
I do like that we didn't get like the pretty brooms, like we just got roots,
Mhm.
like practical magic, just like he says. I mean, just good old practical magic.
I agree. I would want, you know how Funko Pops makes like a box of like six characters at once for like boy bands and things? I would like a set with them all on their brooms. I think that'd be really fun.
That would be cute.
And then
Um,
Rio is hilarious. Her witch cackle on the
that was so
broom,
funny.
it gave me exactly what I wanted. Like, there's good stuff in this episode. When the trial hits, I don't like it.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
let's talk about getting to I like the I like the broom ride
Hmm.
up to the moon. That was a
Hmm.
nice little shot.
It was so good. Very,
Hmm.
very hocus pocus. Because I feel like they have a similar shot when
Hmm.
they're silhouetted with the moon.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
very iconic witch imagery.
I wonder if there's concept art for that shot. I would like to see it.
Mm,
That'd look really cool.
I'm sure it would.
Mhm.
So yeah, they get to start the trial. I mean, it was a quick sequence, from
It
finding
was.
out to
I was gonna interrupt you saying it was like 5 minutes, but that's fairly short for like the episode
it
length.
is. It's fairly short. I mean, they were, running from something and immediately they had to do all this and
Mm-hmm. Searching the next trial room, now in an 80s camp cabin with matching 80s pajama attire, the coven discusses whose trial it is. Lilia says it's Agatha's because of the blood moon. And a Ouija board is magically pushed out. Teen reads the coven the rules. 1. Do not read the Ouija board alone. 2. Do not speak over each other. Something I can learn for sure. 3. Do not taunt the spirits. 4. Do not ask about death. 5. Always end your session with goodbye. 6. Do not remove your hand from the planchette. If you do, a spirit will be released. So they use the board. They ask who's there, and when told yes, they ask for them to reveal themselves, and it spells out Mr. Shart. I mean, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Shart. Mrs. Hart.
Mrs. Hart.
I messed up. Lilia moves her hand, and Agatha is possessed by Mrs. Hart, though not really. It was just a bit because she's a big old scaredy cat. How did you feel about the beginning of the trial?
Immediately as soon as they go into the trial, I loved their looks.
Mm-hmm.
It just I was immediately transported to that 80s uh 80s slasher. movies like camp camps and camp counselors, and it just their wardrobe was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I like Agatha's side ponytail.
Her hair was good.
Um, and the room was, I mean, set design is really good.
Yes and no. I think it was underlit slightly. I couldn't see a lot in it. Like, it just like I know it's the vibe they're going for.
Honestly, I thought it was well lit. I'd have to disagree. I think what worked against it was the layout of the room.
Yeah, it was
It
weird.
was a very strange layout. It almost felt like kind of like a boomerang, you know? It was just
Yeah,
like a little whoosh.
and then a weird second floor bunk bed type thing. Like
I think they
that's
were
super
trying to
weird.
recreate like a treehouse inside, like a treehouse bunk inside a cabin.
That's so weird though. Like there were
It was
stairs.
weird. It was weird. I'll give you that. That was weird. I do like the aesthetics. I like the things that we got in it, like the flashlight, the games, the a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the like the furniture,
Mm-hmm.
um, the beanbag chairs. Like a lot of it was very reminiscent of like late '80s, early '90s camp style.
Mm-hmm. I felt okay. I'm just coming for this episode. I like how they look. I think the costumes looked like we're gonna redo something from the 80s, but make it look like it in 2024. I feel like it was not. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the way cameras looked, and I never got to
Was
live in
it?
the 80s. Like, it
Was
just
it?
looks too new to me. It looks like modern day pajamas. I know what they're going for the 80s aesthetic, and it matches that, but I
Mhm.
didn't feel like these were clothes from the 80s.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. You have the same critique that I had from last episode where you felt the budget.
I don't think it's a budget problem. I think it's just make the clothes look a little worn. Like
Hmm.
use like the purple that Agatha is wearing, I think is too purple. Make it a little bit more muted. Make me
Hmm.
feel like cuz I don't remember them doing anything different with the camera. I feel like it stayed looking like a Marvel television show the whole episode. Like there wasn't any like
Yeah.
visual cue that they're going for what year you're in. So maybe if they use like a camera from the 80s, very if they started using like what they did with Nightmare the 13th. Who am I? If they started using stuff from Friday the 13th and that kind of camera and just making it look like it's from the 80s, I think that's where my issue is. Like it's just
Hmm.
like the camera.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about the trial itself?
I
Again, Teen is the one that finds the Teen is the one that finds the clue.
mhm. Has he found every one of them?
Yes.
Okay, I think he's controlling the road.
That's a good theory. I've been hearing this theory.
This is the first time I thought of it. Like, I think he's controlling
Yeah.
it.
A lot of people seem to think that he's controlling the road. He's been controlling kind of the trial
Mm-hmm.
because he's the one who's found all of the clues and he's kind of been directing them.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a
I
little
don't know if
wild.
I don't know 100%. I'm starting to believe it more, but that is kind of crazy.
I think he has motivations that he hasn't told us before the
Yeah.
road. Like, I think he was just using Agatha to get to the road. Now, in this moment, I am thinking he is controlling the road.
Mm-hmm.
Like, truly, this was not a thought I had before recording. Um, I want to know his motivations, but I don't want another WandaVision-esque flashback episode. I know we're gonna get it because of the new trailer that they released. I don't love that they are saying that this is again, we're in spoiler section, so this is your fault if you listen this far. I do not like that they're saying Billy Maximoff in the trailers because they have not said it in the show. They have hinted, like Agatha says, that he's just like his mother. And then you saw him with his little crown that was reminiscent of Wanda's. I want them to say it after it's been said. I like, I don't know. That's just such a nitpick for me. But obviously he was Billy. So yeah, it wasn't a surprise to me. But you can't see me like tongue pop. But I'm making the face you would if you tongue pop.
I kind of agree with you. I only in the sense that I'm like I need to somebody to hear somebody say it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, ooh, it's been confirmed. I'm like, but officially, like, technically, it hasn't. Yeah, everything's there. We know who it is, but
Mm-hmm. Like if she just said,
until
"Come along,"
yeah,
literally one word could have been changed. Although I do like what she says at the end when she says, "Come along, pet," and the way she says "pet" is
mm,
wonderful. But if she also said like, "Come along, Billy," ooh, chills.
yeah.
That I would like. It's a simple
But
word
also, how did
change.
she know her kids' names? Right? Because
She was
she
around them
finally
a
said,
lot. She was like their
"Oh,
nanny
that's true.
sometimes.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's true, Billy.
she was
Yeah,
the
okay,
nosy
yeah.
neighbor.
She babysat.
She also brought
Um,
stuff for the dog as well. She was all around all the time, all along. I don't like that was
it
said
is
all
it
along.
escaped me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so the trial, she gets possessed by her mother, and
We haven't
her
gotten
mother
there
becomes an
yet. We
antagonist.
haven't gotten there
Yes,
yet.
you jumped ahead quite a bit.
I know. Do you want me to read my summary?
Oh,
I'm
read
just
the summary.
I'm jumping ahead to make my points for in this moment of why things aren't working out for me. But
Mm-hmm.
what did you think? Okay, before we move on, what about Catherine Hahn's performance of doing Sharon Davis?
It was funny. It was funny because it was very spot on.
Mm-hmm.
But for the character, I was like, really, this is what you really thought this was gonna this was gonna work? I
It
don't know why
worked.
she would do that, but
It worked except for two people. Because Lilia was completely bought in. She was like, "Oh, Mrs. Hart, Sharon, I'm so sorry." And then it was Jen who called her out, and then Rio who actually understands who Agatha is, and she's just scared.
mm-hmm.
Um, so like, I liked it. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was the funniest, maybe the second funniest part of the episode. The funniest is in this next section. Once Agatha is called out for faking a possession, they begin again. They ask who's there, and it is Death who answers. They ask why Death is there, and Death says punish. Punish who? Agatha. Agatha then lets go of the planchette. She's very terrified, obviously. Jen is really on board with punishing Agatha. And then Agatha disappears and is revealed to be possessed by who? Her mother, who shows up as a ghost, and Rio does not like ghosts. Very reminiscent of I hate snakes. I don't like snakes. Evernora, I think is her name. Evernora Harkness wants them to leave Agatha behind, but Rio does not want to. Her mother cannot have her. Agatha then asks her mother why she hates her still, and Evanor replies that she was born evil and she wished she killed her right after birth. I wonder if Evanor also likes to eat cats and dogs. Agatha gets repossessed, and Alice uses her newfound power to save Agatha, who drains her of said power, thus killing Alice. Teen uses the Ouija board alone, breaks the rules, and gets the name Nicholas Scratch, and the trial ends. That's it. He broke the rule. He shouldn't have used it alone. That's rule number one, I think. Like, again, why are we saying these rules if we're just going to break them?
They're
Fire!
they're meant to break rules.
No. Yeah, I just don't like Alice's death. in this. Like, there's just no setup for her character. There was no like climactic point outside of like a look that she gives when Agatha does not want to get taken back to her mother. Like, I think Alice like understands that mother-daughter dynamic that's going on. That's just fully assuming by literal like turn of the head and like maybe in eyes widening. Um, but yeah, what did you think about the possession? Like on this section in general, like she can.
I think it was like, I think it was fun. It was more funny than anything. The makeup was really funny. Her being on the wall was
Hmm.
funny, like on the roof. Um, yeah, I think it was more funny than anything. I did not expect it to be her mom. Absolutely not. I didn't know who it was going to be. I just didn't think it was going to be her mom.
Hmm.
Um,
I think the previously on kind of spoiled that
did it? Oh, was that what you? I didn't get that.
because the previously on was just
Yeah.
about what happened in WandaVision episode 8.
Hmm.
So like I was assuming that it was going to be like someone because it couldn't have been some random person. Who have we seen that Agatha has a connection to that would show up and make sense narratively? Um, I think it was kind of her mother from the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Yeah, it was a funny, fun kind of. I mean, they were terrified, but I thought it was funny. Um,
It was funny
yeah,
what
it was just.
everyone else was saying. Like how Jen was like, she's faking. Oh my god, she's not faking. Very funny. But like Agatha, like her body contorting and the sound design of said contortion, that's spooky.
Hmm.
That's giving me some scares.
Yeah.
Did you like the ghost? How the ghost looked?
Uh, no, not really.
Okay.
I mean, it was good. I just no, I don't know. It was just too smoky for me.
That's fair. It reminded me of Scooby Doo, like the ghosts that you see
Yeah.
in the first Scooby Doo movie. Not ghosts, but like the souls when they're like taken out of their body. It reminded me of
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, I no, I didn't really like the ghost. I also didn't like the just the motivation for the ghost. It's like, oh, I'm just still so angry at you, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
well,
like I just because I didn't expect it to be the mom, and okay, it's you know.
was the mom only because Agatha let go and that Nicholas Scratch is really the whole point of the trial? Because I think if Agatha, if this is comeuppance, this is comeuppance, but Alice did not do anything wrong to deserve death. She tried to save Agatha. So if Alice is like the first one that left, took out of her hand, and then Agatha gets possessed and turns out it's her mother, maybe, but I don't think that getting possessed is at any point what the trial is supposed to happen. I think they are supposed to find out who Nicholas Scratch, like get that name. I think it's very important, but because otherwise, why does Teen do that? Like, why does Teen go to the Ouija board to get a name? Like, how does he know
Well,
that?
he saw the planchette moving by itself, spelling something.
Was it?
That's why he ran. Yeah, that's why he
Okay.
ran over there.
Did something happen to like make it go do that? Like then if the character Nicholas is the one controlling it, why does after the death of Alice does Nicholas decide, "Hey, they've earned the right to get my name and leave the trial." Like I don't
I
this
saw that more as a hey, my mom's being possessed by my grandmother. Let me try and do something to save her. Here's my name. It'll snap her out of it.
maybe.
That's what I felt from that.
I think this trial is very unfocused.
I'll give you that, because now that we've been discussing it, I'm like, what was the big point of this trial?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it was just to get the name, then I guess the other trials have been like, especially the first one, there was a clear focus.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know your potions. You need to
Mm-hmm.
work together. Second one, also, you need to work together. You
Mm-hmm.
need to get rid of this curse. You know,
You must do the song.
yeah, you
And
must do the song.
there was no like hint towards what they need to be
Mm-hmm.
working towards with the Ouija board.
This one kind of broke the mold on that, because they all kind of just started attacking Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
They all started coming for her.
I did like that this was Agatha's trial though. Like it was a gag the first time I watched it when Lilia says, "Oh, this is Agatha," and I'm like, episode 5, halfway through. What are we doing the rest of the
Yeah,
time? Like I thought
yeah.
this was going to be like the penultimate or final trial,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in the middle. Unless this is the last trial we see. No, because we're getting the one, oh my gosh. In the trailer where Billy is dressed up as Maleficent, I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Give me that pop figure.
Yeah. Then
Mm-hmm.
Alice dying. I understand what you're saying about there was no setup to that. To me, I just didn't really I didn't connect to Alice's character through
Yeah.
the series as much. I will say, in my rewatch, because I've seen all episodes at least 3 times now,
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I understand why you connected to Alice. I understood more of who she is, her motivations, kind of like just her personality. She's rough, but she's sweet at the same time, and she cares. She's empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, did she deserve this death? Absolutely not. But I feel like I'm not crazy sad about it, only because we got a large portion of her history in the last
Mm-hmm.
episode.
Yeah.
She got to kind of go through the motions of, hey, there's this curse and we're vanquishing it, and we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
come out. I mean, it's an untimely death, but
They all
I'm not
were.
super sad about it.
Yeah, I'll rephrase. Like, do I love the character of Alice? Yes. Am I sad she is dead? Yes. But that is not, like, the reason I don't like this episode. I just think it was a
Mhm.
big whiff on the writing that they do a lot of this setup. And, like, again, Lilia, like, unless I just need to rewatch it with subtitles on and see if she starts talking right before Alice is about to use her powers to save Agatha. But, like,
Mhm.
I just think it just structurally didn't work for me, and I don't know. The writing is bad. Like no, because there's some good jokes. I love when Agatha is being all sarcastic with her mom when her mother's ghost has arrived. Like, Mom, embarrassing me in front of my friends. Thank you.
Mhm.
I so loved you being in my body. Like, I liked those jokes. I think that was the funniest bit of the episode. Um, but like is lackadaisical. They needed us to get us somewhere, and I felt like they rushed through it. 5 more minutes of time would have made this episode probably perfect for me. A little bit more time, a little
Mhm.
bit more setup.
It was a very fast episode.
Hmm. But I do think it ends really strong, and I'll get into the ending. Teen pleads for Alice to be revived, but unfortunately nothing can be done. Agatha shows seemingly genuine remorse, but she runs off now that the trial is over. Agatha tries out her power and Teen confronts her. She says she didn't mean to, but she couldn't control it. Teen says, "So is that what it means to be a witch? Killing people to serve your own agenda? No, not for me. And then Agatha gets real close and she whispers, Are you sure? You're so much like your mother. This then flips a switch in Teen, who uses blue magic to possess Lily and Jen, making them throw Agatha into some goo, and then tosses Jen and Lily in there too. And the final shot reveals a crown on Teen's face, revealing he is indeed Billy Maximoff, aka Wiccan. So the ending of this episode is why it's iconic and great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this was a very strong final sequence for the
Mm-hmm.
episode. I have to say that the first sequence was fun to me. The trial was whatever, and I think this sequence definitely brought it home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was very intense. I think we saw Joe Locke act very differently in this scene, which
Yeah.
works.
Mm-hmm.
The intensity that he brought to this final scene really, like, even before the Wiccan reveal, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, now I'm liking this character. And then it makes sense with the reveal, with the power reveal, with the Wiccan reveal. And then we got some really interesting bits, right? So as Agatha is saying, no, when Billy says, or when Teen says, because we're just still calling him Billy, when Teen says, is that what it means to be a witch? No, not for me. And Agatha has this kind of look on her face, like almost like recognizing him, like, hey, what is going on here? And then she says, are you sure? That was a brilliant, brilliant moment.
I love the way she said, Are you sure? Like,
Mm-hmm.
the extra syllables she puts into sure. Mmm, delicious. Acting is incredible by Catherine Hahn.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. Joe Locke is very intense at this ending. I think, and maybe the next episode will reveal his like true motivations and whether this familiar, like I'm using like the capital F familiar as a title, not like if him being a familiar was more of a facade to get closer to Agatha and he's trying to like get information out of her or something, and with the death of Alice, someone that he liked, he got to do some witch stuff with, he really connected, that just like broke him, and so now he does not care to try to work with Agatha anymore. Um like because throughout the show, we've seen him progressively get annoyed and angry with Agatha. Like in episode 3, after Sharon's death,
Mm-hmm.
um, when Agatha's like, I didn't know you had it in you, and the way that he, like, gets mad at her for just her giving a wink back when he asked who it was. Um, I think we've progressively seeing that, like, nice wall towards Agatha go away with the character. It was a great finale. The shot, I like that they're giving him the crown that they gave him to match Wanda's aesthetic. I'm glad they're not going into the Thor routes that the Wiccan character originally had, because he kind of has like a Thor costume at the beginning of his
Yeah.
comic run. Um, Thinking that though, should I say what blew my mind? Do you think Billy is going to be the villain of the Young Avengers project?
I really hope not.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Young Avengers have some iconic villains, right? The first, the first big villain that they have is Kang, which when the whole Kang Dynasty thing was happening in the MCU, I was
Mm-hmm.
excited to see, spoilers for the comic books, a younger Kang, an Iron Lad who was kind of like the villain.
Yeah.
Um, but now with Doomsday happening, I don't think he will be the villain. I really
Yeah.
hope not,
Mm-hmm.
because they have a good story from the comic books that they could use. You know, Billy being a good guy, he just wants to. I just think that he's young and he has powers, and he probably just found out something about himself that he didn't know, which is that he's related to the Scarlet Witch, and you know what I mean.
I think he's
So
known the whole time.
I don't know. I don't know. There's a couple of theories going around.
I think he's known the whole time, and he put the sigil on himself.
No, no, no. What I mean is like maybe like a short period of time that he's known. I mean like a year or two, you know,
That's
if
fair. We don't
anything.
know
Like
his.
a kind of like a coming of age kind of thing. Like he's, you know, he just found out he started studying all this magic stuff, and you know, I think for the character it's a short period of time.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think he's going to try to revive Wanda and possibly his family. So you're kind of getting a repeat of
Yeah.
what Multiverse of Madness had with the character of Wanda. I don't think um, he's going to get that. I think he's going to be mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we're gonna kind of get to see, like, what if Wanda did survive Multiverse of Madness? What would this character do? Although Billy has not done the same murderous bad things that Wanda ever did. Wanda got really bad in Multiverse of Madness. Unredeemable, I will say. Um,
I will say I don't think he killed Sharon, and if he did, I don't think he meant to.
I
I
think
don't want to believe that he has evil intentions just to get what he wants.
I fully believe it's the road and the Coven's faults for why these characters are dying. Like, I think Agatha's power is that she just sucks in other people's power, that they just have to shoot her with it. I don't think it's something that she herself, like, turns a switch on and then takes their power. I think that's something that just happens with her. And I don't think that maybe Billy is controlling the road, but again, it is Sharon had 2 cups of the wine. They didn't give her 2 doses, or they didn't use her hair in the potion. It's these mistakes that they are giving. And I think that Billy doesn't want anyone to die because he's young, he's innocent, he hasn't done anything wrong yet. But I think the turn of him not getting what he wants out of the road will lead him to villainous things. And I feel like having a character, they have to keep it young for the Young Avengers. I think it's worth having a character that is about the same age range for a villain with them. Because if they're going up against an adult, it's just like, okay, we're the real Avengers. What is this thing that's happening that causes the Young Avengers to have to happen? Because I think the Thunderbolts asterisk is really going to become the Dark Avengers during the movie. So if there is an Avengers team, why are the Young Avengers happening if it's not like the comics where the Avengers are disbanded and then the Young Avengers create themselves to come back and I can finally stop talking?
Oh no, you were going on a good tangent. I loved it. And I completely agree with you. Um, I'm just hoping that he's not the villain. I'm hoping that this is all motivation is just like, you know, a kid who really wants his family. He found out the truth about his family, maybe a background he didn't really know since growing up, because that's kind of the Billy character in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hope that he finds a different kind of motivation. You know, his relationship with Hulkling really kind of uh, stabilized him, and I hope that
Mm-hmm.
we get that in the MCU
Did you see the rumors about
of
Hulkling?
who got cast.
Yeah.
I saw, but I don't know who it is.
Did you watch the not the most recent Ghostbusters one, but the one before that, Afterlife?
No.
Okay. He's also in both ones, but it's the Asian kid from those
Mhm.
movies. He's very nerdy. Um, I mean, I could see it, but I feel like we have too many Hulk characters. I know he's a Skrull. Spoilers. I'm so sorry. Um, but I don't see because his mother is the doctor lady in Age of Ultron. I think she loses an arm by Ultron. Like I think Ultron like rips her arm off or something.
Mhm.
Um, but he is supposed to be the son of that character, and I really don't see how they could like fit him into it because you also have Scar, and is it going to be confusing that they have two young Hulk characters? I think it's important to have Hulkling.
I think Scar needs to just go away and just not even be a thing anymore.
I don't know. I think it's funny. I want to see Hulk be a dad. It's something new for the character to go through because I feel like they did everything until Endgame, and I feel like him having to be a parent and try to like parent someone like he has to use like his big ass binder and like do something different with it. Do you think the Bruce Banner will be like because if we go, is there someone that's like a mentor to Fury? I don't know. Because obviously Kamala Khan is the Fury character trying to band together the Avengers. So I don't know. Hulk is their
I don't know.
supervisor. I think it'd be
I
fun.
don't know.
But any
Um,
predictions for the
we're
next
getting
episode?
closer to that Young Avengers project, and I'm just very excited that it's getting further along. Um,
Mm-hmm.
predictions. I think next episode we'll definitely see Billy's backstory. Um, I hope we get to see a deep, not just, a semblance of maybe where he came from. I really hope we do a deep dive to see his full backstory, his motivations. You know, I don't want to get maybes and ifs. And yeah, and my hope is that he doesn't have this sinister plan. I mean, he played a bad very well at the end of this episode,
Mm-hmm.
kind of throwing them into the mud, but I just hope that his motivations are something more than just what we see.
I think he could maybe be the villain character, but he's not going to end because we have to have some form of antagonist for
Hmm.
like the show to work. And I think throwing in a Mephisto or a Nicholas Scratch at the end, who could
Yeah.
possibly be the Doctor Carrier that took away Jen's powers, I think that could be something that could be fun. Um, but I think someone the whole time, kind of the same thing with Agatha and WandaVision, like, I need to know them and spend a lot of time with that character because we'll get what, maybe 2 hours more content with the show? Maybe
Hmm.
2.5 if they extend some episodes. Um, I don't know. I wonder if that car crash in the trailer is part of his backstory.
I hope so. It looks like
Hmm.
it. Hmm.
Do you think it's actually, huh?
About his background, he mentioned, like, right before his voice started to be muffled, he
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that he was from Eastview.
Oh, he's from Eastview?
Yeah, it's very like the sound goes out obviously because the sigil is blocking it, but
Mm.
if you lip read and you raise your volume, you hear him say he's from Eastview.
Oh my gosh. Where's Film Theory when you need them? Why have they not made a an episode on this show yet? That's wild.
But yeah, I'm hoping that the show really vamps up from here.
Mm-hmm. I think it could be good. I'm very excited for more. I hope the episodes are longer, to be honest. I
Hmm.
really, I just want Marvel to stick to, and I hope Daredevil is what the show is, that sticks to a 40-minute, 45, maybe even an hour. Give me an HBO runtime show. I just want it. That's my big ask. So what do
Okay,
you, so what do you have, so what are you looking forward to this week?
definitely just the next episode. I'm really
Mm-hmm.
excited to see this next episode. What else am I watching? I'm just really excited to see this next episode.
I don't know. I got a lot. Smile 2 is the big movie this weekend. The first
Hmm.
Smile is good, but I hate the ending and what it means for like mental health and figuring out yourself. So I am hoping the second one is good, but I am worried it could just be the same rehash again. Um, the finale of English Teacher is this week. I don't know how they'll wrap all the storylines up, but maybe they will. Hopefully season two, if it gets picked up for season two, is longer. I think his name is Brian Alvarez. I somehow found his TikTok, and he has a good TikTok. I'm gonna shout him out. He has a good TikTok.
Yeah, he's
Um,
funny.
he's so fucking hot. I'm just gonna say it. He's so built, but I also like the gym
Hmm.
teacher, who's the bear. Give me him shirtless, please, and thank you. I have been behind on Penguin. I need to get back into it. Everyone's been talking about how good the show is, but I have not watched more than the first episode. And then, um, that's really it that I really have planned. I'm not really watching too much dramas at the moment, unfortunately. Have you been keeping up with High Potential?
I haven't seen the last episode.
Okay. I still have only watched the first. I don't know. Is it good? Is it staying
It's
good?
good. The second episode was good as well. Just the same. It's gonna be like a procedural,
Mm-hmm.
next case, you know. It's
Yeah.
good. It's
Mm-hmm.
got a good premise.
Oh my gosh. I forgot to mention, I started rewatching Lost. And I'm watching it with my friend. We watched the first two episodes. I'm gonna try to keep going more with it because I've never gotten further than like halfway through season one. So I'm really excited to keep going with that as well. But I think that brings us to the end of this episode of the Bear Watch Project. Oscar, where can they find you?
You can find me at Ion Source on Instagram. And where can they find you?
I am Grizzly Reviews on TikTok and YouTube, and otherwise I am Garrett underscore Odin 23. I know it makes total sense on Instagram. And
And you can find us at the Bear Watch Project on YouTube and at the Bear Watch Project X on
mhm,
Instagram.
love it. Let us know in the comments wherever you're at, or leave us a review. Rate it 5 stars, please, and thank you. But if you do leave us a review, let us know some upcoming shows or movies, anything that you might want us to cover so we can add that to our schedule because we are pretty much covered through the rest of October and the first week of November with the Agatha finale. So if there's anything you want us to look out for, let us know. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening or watching, wherever you're getting us from. I thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye
And
bye.
bye bye. See you soon. Toodaloo.